It's Wednesday 8. It's about 7 minutes past 8. Today we'll be talking about Newcastle Central Mosque and its activities. Newcastle Central Mosque was established in 2003 and it was a tiny little place. And today is having so many popularity. And the mosque, although it's so small, and we're having so many people are so attached to the mosque. And today we are here to discover why so many people are still attached to that tiny place that although is under construction and the facilities are not great, but people are still coming and the mosque is very popular. So today we're going to be talking about a few activities that run in the Masjid, and also in the last 2 weeks we'll be talking about all those activities, and that will be on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 till 9. So please join us and take advantage of this activity that's been run in the Masjid. So today we got a few guests with us, so I want them to introduce themselves. Please say your name and what you do and what will you be talking about today.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Omar Sharif and I'm a medical doctor, and I'm going to talk about the health talks activities which happens in Newcastle Central Mosque.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Samir Ahmed. I am an anesthetist working in NHS, and I will be talking about one of the activities which I'm involved in, which is visit my mosque, the open day in the mosque.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Brother Hadim. I'll be talking about school visits in the Masjid.
And also eat.
Indeed.
You want to say something?
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Yazan and I'll be talking about Masjid Mania.
Yeah.
You do my job.
No, you'll be talking about.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Umair, and I'm going to be speaking about Masjid Mania, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah, we're gonna kick off with Health Talk. Dr. Omer, Health Talk is a program that's been taking place in Masjid, and a lot of people have been taking advantage of it, and we'll learn a little bit. Myself, I've learned a lot about the Health Talk. Can you tell me a little bit what is it all about Health Talk?
Yeah, thanks for this question. So to start off, we do know the mosque, all the mosque does cater for spiritual need of a individual or a human being. In my opinion, if there is physical health and emotional health, there is also spiritual health, and it is important to have all these health in synchronized activity to get the best of a believer. And as the hadith goes from Sahih al-Muslim, the believer who is stronger is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than one is weaker, although both have goodness in them. So it is important to have a good health, to be able to implement and to practice the faith in the best advantage possible. So we could actually be in a position to express ourselves, express our faith to the wider community in the best possible way we could. So Health Talk mainly targets about how the common topics, how it affects or has an impact on the Muslim communities in general, and especially the Western Muslim communities where we live in Europe and in particular UK. We talk about things like how stress can impact on us, how can we better cope with traumatic events, and cancer screening, and issues like hypertension, how can we better manage hypertension, diabetes and things like that. And these is generally the topics which we cover during the Health Talk series in Newcastle Central Mosque.
Wow, that's an amazing answer, doctor. And the other thing that I would like to talk about, because when you talk about high blood pressure and those diabetes, and it seems like the Muslim community is well affected. So how do you think we can tackle that?
Yeah, as we all know that people from the Asian background, we tend to have higher rates in the metabolic syndromes and diseases like hypertension and diabetes in particular. That's from the tradition, the food habits, and we are in general very emotional in terms of the relationship we have within our family and in general. So these kind of talks does helps put the individuals in perspective. What are the healthy diets and what kind of preventive strategies we could apply in our day-to-day basis. And Islam emphasizes very clearly prevention is better than cure.
Absolutely.
And so we work on this strategy to help and educate our community so that they can actually implement in a better way, so that they can strive to be a better Muslim and better human beings.
Absolutely, because the way I say it, you got to be fit to be able to practice your religion as well, which is so important.
Absolutely.
And that's something that it's a shame that we Muslim community we take our health a little bit for granted. And so how will you advise us when it comes to the importance of physical activities?
Okay, before coming, we haven't gone into that in terms of health talks yet.
Yeah.
We do give talks which is in relevant to the situations and the circumstances, what is needed to the Muslim community. For example, it is during Ramadan in particular, we conduct various health talks. We do health talks. What is important in terms of diet intake during iftar and suhoor. And so one of our colleague, Dr. Samir Khaja, he does health talks every Ramadan, and that's conducted and been and very accepted very well around the community. So that's because we're going to talk directly about physical health and what kind of physical the importance of the exercises and things like that. Perhaps may not be in a position for our congregation to understand it.
Yeah.
So we take opportunities according to the circumstances, like during Ramadan, what is good. So we talk about physical activities around Ramadan, brisk walk. What if we have to go for a brisk walk or a jog, what is the best time to do it? In that case, during Ramadan, it is just before iftar is the best time, so that the fat metabolism could be increased in so these kind of things we just add on activities like this. And during Hajj as well, we try and educate our congregation around what is the best way to keep ourselves fit and well for preparation to Hajj and during Hajj. So these kind of opportunities we take along and we work around it. However, we haven't targeted our audience, our congregation on in particular about talking about physical health yet. But this is something which we need to plan out for the next year, inshallah.
Excellent. And also, since you mentioned about, because I've got a feeling that you do your program according to what's needed. Is that right?
Yes.
Because like you did, we have talked about Ramadan, when you do one about Hajj and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You also did one very, very important when we had the incident at Eid. You had like how to deal with traumatic issues. So that was very, very, very good. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, I think these concepts are something which has not been catered to our Muslim community in general. So these are not crowd pullers. Like, for example, if you have a lecture on Aqidah and things like that, people do often, because that's how we have conditioned our congregation. Like Mosque is catering along this spiritual needs or the Islamic education in general, and health education or the world education has been separated somehow. But if you look at the history, the modern university comes from the mosque, which is in Fes in Morocco, which was built by Fatima al-Bir, a lady. So we have, as a mosque, we have to cater this and we have to make it more acceptable to our audience. So that's why we take opportunities according to the situation, so that the people come around to accept the talk what's been given. With regards to your question, like we did had this coping with traumatic event, and we had two specialists who delivered the talk as well. So that we had a good feedback, especially the person who was involved in the incident themselves. They were there during the talk, and they gave a good feedback the lecture. So the mosque tries and help with the situation of each individuals, and accordingly we plan up with the modern evidences of medical sciences, and we give data which is along with Quran and Hadith as well.
Excellent. You also did a CPR. That was Dr. Sabi. You were involved in CPR, and so that was really, really amazing. Because even my daughters now they boast about it at school. When we go to school, they say, "I know how to do CPR," and this is something that's so good for Masjid. But it happened that people are not taking advantage of it. So what do you have to say to people, Dr. Sami?
So we were very keen to organize the CPR course because it is very common I mean, it's not uncommon, but it can happen to someone that you're walking somewhere and you see a person suddenly fall in front of you, and you don't know how to react. You don't know what the right things to do. And a lot of the times when a person goes into a cardiac arrest, the initial 3 minutes is very important of how that man's outcome will be. So this is why we teach people CPR to not just CPR. It's about 3 different situations. One is if a patient has a proper cardiac arrest. Second is when the patient stops breathing but his heart is working okay. And the third is when a person chokes. I think third one is most important because that everyone has seen every time in their homes, when you're in restaurants, when you're at work, that when somebody is eating their food or something, it gets stuck and they start choking.
That's right.
And if you don't know what the right thing to do at that time, the outcome of that person can be bad.
So yeah, that's super important because it's always in our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches us that, and if we say one person, it's like you say the whole humanity. So these are that's so important for us to learn, and even myself, it's been an eye opening for me to learn something so important, and in a masjid, which is not a normal place. You would think that you'll be taught that.
Absolutely.
You know, that I think that these are the kind of thing that make this masjid so special, because these are the kind of thing you don't get everywhere. And my daughters, as I said before, they feel so proud that they tell their friend that I know how to do this. You know, so it's amazing.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
We have had wonderful response from the congregation who attended the course. It's Alhamdulillah 4 years now since we've been organizing this, and every year the numbers of people who are getting trained in this is just getting better and better. Alhamdulillah.
So now, how can Oven Masjid get involved in this?
So this particular course we are organizing with an organization called BIMA, which is British Islamic Medical Association, and the masjids can get in touch with BIMA through their website, and we will try and get to as many masjids as possible to conduct this course in the masjid.
And the course is for both brothers and sisters.
The course is for both brothers and sisters.
And
Alhamdulillah, a lot of medical doctors, nurses, paramedics have dedicated their time especially for this, and they come and teach in the comforts of the masjid.
And it's absolutely free.
It's absolutely free.
Excellent. Jazakallah khair. So, is there anything you can add on, Dr. Omer, regarding this? Because we're going to close this topic soon.
I think as Dr. Samir said, this Lifesavers course is a paramount project which we started in 2016, and Newcastle Central Mosque was the only mosque in the whole of Northeast which initiated and supported this project with a group of doctors through BIMA. So the aim of this is basically it changes the narrative of the mosque. It changes the stereotype of the mosque. And this time, Newcastle Central Mosque opened up for the non-Muslim audience as well. So the non-Muslim people can come in and train the CPR as well. So in 10 years down the line, a youth might say, I had this vital skills which allowed me to save a life learning from this particular mosque.
Yeah,
that's a wonderful thing, actually.
That's right, because the CPR is not just for Muslims, it's for even the wider community. For non-Muslim, we can also come as well. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's open for anyone to come in, especially in Newcastle Central Mosque.
Yeah.
We encourage anyone to walk in and learn this from the experts.
Okay, so if once the event is on, so everybody you can invite your friend, your neighbor to that event, that particular event. Is that right?
Yeah, so we give we at least give up a month's notice, and we advertise this through the masjid's social media and through the posters, so you can register and come in for this course.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Omer. Thank you very much. And so now we're gonna move to the next topic, which is visit my mosque, which will be Dr. Sami. And visit my mosque. First of all, and how did that come about? Visit my mosque.
So I think the first Visit My Mosque started about 5 or 6 years ago, when we thought that with the growing Islamophobia, with the increase in hate, with the rise of far right, we felt a need in the masjid that we should open up to our neighbors, invite them, and have their misconceptions cleared about what happens inside the masjid.
Right.
So we started off, I think 6 years ago, as by the masjid, and for the first time, alhamdulillah, only one person turned up.
Wow.
But then as we grew, we are having, alhamdulillah, about an average of about 200 people turning up for the Visit My Mosque Day.
Wow. That's amazing. That's good. So, but how often does it take place?
At present, we are organizing this once a year. So we are organizing in collaboration with the MCB's Muslim Council of Britain's Visit My Mosque Day, which is held in first week of March approximately, on the weekend. And this is the day we open our masjid to anyone in the community, where we think that it's our responsibility to open up and allow people to come in, interact with Muslims.
Right.
Now, one of the unique things about Northeast, and particularly in Newcastle, is the population of Muslims.
Right.
Now, the population of Muslims in Northeast is just 1.7%. That
Right.
is the lowest in the whole of country.
Wow.
Along with Wales, the Northeast has the lowest Muslim population in the whole of country.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So just imagine someone living in villages, say somewhere, a village outside Hexham or village near Berwick. People might not have met a Muslim at all throughout their life,
Yeah.
and when they see what happens in the media, what is narrated to them by the far right media, then they have assumptions which are actually wrong, and those has to be cleared.
Yeah.
The misconceptions which they develop, they just need to be cleared. And what we've observed is actually people have been waiting for this kind of a day so that they can actually turn up and
Right.
see what happens in the masjid, meet a Muslim. We had someone come from Carlisle the last time, and the other time before we had someone from a village near Berwick come up for some time.
From Berwick, wow.
And they said that they've actually never actually properly interacted with a Muslim.
No.
So they wanted to actually come and see why this religion, why the people are being portrayed in this way. So they wanted to find out more. It's something like people were thirsty for it. We just gave them some water. That's all we did.
Absolutely. Wow, that's quite interesting that you say that, because there's one of the sheikh that was saying that we people that live in Britain, we are more lucky because one sheikh, somebody told him that he was lucky because he lived in a place where there's a lot of Muslim, and his reply was, no, you guys are lucky because you live in a place where you got more opportunity to do dawah to more people.
Absolutely.
And which is clear, and this is as you said, we are only 1.7, so therefore there's more opportunity for us to do dawah and to get more reward, inshallah. So now, how do other mosques can get involved in this?
So several mosques have been doing this in their own way on a convenient day to them. But I think what we've observed for the past few years is doing in conjunction with the day organized by the MCB helps the event get advertised better. It comes to the national media. It's covered by all the major newspapers. It gets covered by the radio stations. So more and more people come to know about this. And then there's plenty of guidance available with the MCB website. And alhamdulillah, if Masajid in the Northeast are interested, then we're always there to help and guide and how to go about. Since alhamdulillah, we have experience of almost 4 years now.
Okay. Can I ask this question to Brother Kadim? What kind of activities do we have on the Visit My Mosque Day?
Visit My Mosque Day, brother, we have a whole range of activities, from live Quran reading, watch the prayer, the salah. We have henna. Henna is very popular.
Yeah.
Visit My Mosque Day, but it's really a chance for people to come and meet Muslims.
Yeah.
It's like the brother says, it's the Northeast.
That's right.
I'm from Concert. In Concert there was 4 Muslims, myself and my wife,
Wow.
Brother Hamza and his wife.
Wow.
Brother Hamza moved to Whitley Bay, so we took the hint and we came to Newcastle.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of towns with no Muslims, no experience of Muslims.
Yeah.
So that actually leaves Concert with no Muslims at the moment. So this is why people don't get to actually interact with
Yeah.
Muslims at all, and that's why I think it's more of our responsibility to open up and invite people. People want to come in, actually.
Yeah.
That's what we've observed.
Doctor, have we got anything to add to that? The activities? Is there anything else you add on the activities?
Yeah, as brothers said, one very popular activity is the calligraphy, where brother Richard, he comes along and he does it, and he has designed his own script.
Yeah.
So he does it, and it's very popular, and people do come along to have that on board, so that their names been encrypted in his script. And Visit My Mosque is a massive, and it's a huge initiative, and I wish more mosques take the role from Newcastle Central Mosque.
So when we first started, how many mosques were involved?
We were the only masjid in the northeast, and I think we are still the only masjid in the northeast to actually organize open days.
But in overall, because it happened in the whole UK, doesn't it?
It's a national event.
It's a national event, isn't it?
Yeah.
Visit My Mosque.
So Visit My Mosque is a
Most
national
people.
event. I
Yeah.
think it started with a few mosques in London,
Yeah.
and then spread across, and now it's almost up to 200 mosques which are taking part in this.
That's quite amazing. We've got about 2 minutes to add to the break, for the next break. Yeah. So okay. So we're gonna. Is there any feedback you can give us from Visit My Mosque? Any feedback you got from people at all?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, we've had wonderful feedback. If you go on any of our Facebook page or the website, and there's a lot of feedback which is left there, especially on our Facebook page. Now, some of the feedback which I'm just reading out is: fabulous day, learned so much, had fun, and we were welcomed by all ages. I don't think I've been to a more friendly event. We had such a lovely time visiting today, and we were made to feel so welcome. Thank you so much for the fantastic experience. Thanks for hosting this. With all that's going on in the world right now, there's no better time to build bridges. Fantastic day.
Wow, that's amazing. So that tells you that people need it. That as Brother Kadim said, that people need it. People don't know where to go. You know, like as you say, if somebody came from a Berwick, and I also heard that somebody came from Exham, Carlisle, all those places. So these people, we want to know, we want to learn, because we are getting the message from the media. So it's our job to give them the authentic message, which is a shame that most people are not taking advantage of that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, we are very fortunate to be a part of the masjid which encourages these activities, and we are happy to participate and do what we can.
Excellent. Okay, we're gonna break for about 5 minutes, but before we break, I just need to remind you that the mosque will be live on the 21st of this month, of 21st of May, from 5 p.m. till 5 a.m. and that's on Sky One. So we'll be fundraising again for a Masjid to be built. So we'll be back again in about 5 minutes.
Ramadan is a time of giving and helping the less fortunate. It is a time for maximizing your rewards. Crisis Aid is feeding the poor and needy this Ramadan in over 10 different countries around the world. For just £2 a day, you can feed a fasting person or pay your fidya. Crisis Aid also takes donations for kafara, fitrana, zakat and sadaqah. Visit our website at www.crisisaid.org.uk.
Manjaro's is now here in Newcastle, famous for our unique palmos, sizzling waka waka chicken, wraps and burgers that will melt in your mouth. Why not come and open your iftar with us? We have a delicious 3-course special iftar menu for just £10. Listen in to Newcastle Fast FM for a daily palmo and drink giveaway, and a massive weekly giveaway on Jummah, where a meal for 2 including starters, mains and drinks is up for grabs. And don't worry about missing your salah, we have our own prayer room for you to use. Call us on 0191 261 8764 to book your table now. Manjaro's, 10 Cross Street, NE1 4XE.
Problems with your computer? Can't log in because you've forgotten your password? Fed up waiting for your super slow laptop to finally load? P-Formatting, your local IT service in Newcastle and the surrounding area, for servicing, upgrading, confidentially saving old files you can no longer access but don't want to lose, basically solving any IT related problem. Call P-Formatting. For your convenience, we even come to you. Call 074 824 17410.
The Hijama Centre. Get treated with prophetic medicine for a range of aches, pains or illnesses including arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, migraines and more, or just come along for a Sunnah detox. Free consultations with male and female therapists with more than 2 years experience combined. Prices start from just £30. You can find us at 2 Shipley Avenue. You can book now to register and make your appointment for after Ramadan on 078 111 64299.
Pizza & Co. is now open on Westgate Road near you. We do Teesside's famous Palmos, chicken tikka hot pizzas and handmade gourmet grill burgers here in Newcastle. Now introducing the old Afghan doner kebab launching this Ramadan at our West Road branch with chips, chilli, garlic or mint sauce. Come in and we'll take your taste buds back to the 90s. We also have special Ramadan offers, any 16-inch pizza with large bottle of pop, $9.99, or any large palmo with large bottle of pop, also $9.99. Call us now at 0191 272 4444 and order now for iftar pickups.
The Muslim Munchkins Playgroup welcomes your kids aged 2 to 5 years old. Our sessions include Islamic etiquette, the Arabic language, stories of the prophets, and much more. From July the 1st, sessions will be running every Saturday from 9:15 till 12:15. To register, please contact us on info@muslimmunchkinsplay.com.
Mida is amongst the Northeast's most fashionable and trendy British Indian restaurants. It has been elegantly furbished to provide our customers with a fresh ambience and a premier chic Indian dining experience with a twist. Our menu truly represents the cuisine of the Indian subcontinent, with great emphasis on sourcing the freshest ingredients. Any dish that does not appear on the menu can be prepared on request or cooked specifically to your taste. Come and dine with us on Hexham Road, Warbottle, Newcastle upon Tyne. Telephone 0191 267 0987.
For phone accessories, repairs and SIM cards at the Phone Corner. For money transfer, travel tickets and passport pictures. For all your faxing and photocopying needs at the Phone Corner. Come down and see how we can help you at the Phone Corner. 34A and 41B West Road, NE4 9RU. Call 0191 256 8444. 5% off all phone accessories when you mention Newcastle Fast FM. At the Phone Corner.
The Islamic Diversity Centre. Our aim is to challenge stereotypes and remove misconceptions by teaching authentic Islam. We raise Islamic awareness by offering workshops to schools and organisations. We're actively involved in the community with projects such as Help the Homeless and the Elderly Care Project, and we support new Muslims on their journey into Islam. If you want to get involved with this one-of-a-kind organisation, email us today on newcastle@idcnortheast.org.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
You're back now? Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Welcome back to Fast FM. Today we are talking about Newcastle Central Mosque and its activities. Before earlier on we spoke about health talk and visit my mosque. Thank you, bro, Dr. Omer and Dr. Sami and Brother Kadim for
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
important it is as well for us. You're back now? So now our next Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Welcome back. Masjid Mania is an activities for kids that take place in Masjid. I think it's every month. So today we got Brother Omer that will tell us a little bit about Masjid Mania. So first of all, what's Masjid Mania?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So Masjid Mania is a free program that we hold in Newcastle Central Mosque, and it's catered for the semi-practicing / practicing youth. So from the ages from around maybe 9 onwards. So when the children usually start praying to their early teenage years.
Okay. So how did the idea come about?
The idea came from another organisation called Mania, who do a very similar thing but with a sleepover.
Okay.
So I decided to ditch the sleepover and just do like a few hours worth of programs during the daytime with some food instead.
Okay. So when does it normally take place?
So we're trying to do it as often as we can at the moment. We're currently doing it during every term, every sort of half term or school holidays at the moment, yeah.
So, doctor, your son sometimes attend Mania. How does he feel when he attend it? What feedback do you get?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, he really loves it. He looks forward to attending this all the time, and I have to actually keep a tab because a couple of the times I was late in registering and the places were completely booked. So it's a very sought after thing. Yeah. And he always has come back with he's learned something new. He's thoroughly enjoyed himself. Had pizza, which he loves. Yeah, so it's all been a very good experience for him, really, and I'm quite proud of sending him there.
Yeah, you also attended Mania, so what are your feelings? How do you feel about it?
I think I think it's actually a very good program because it links us with a masjid, and that's like what you're trying to do, because which is very important for us youth to be linked with a masjid at a young age. So when we become older, we don't miss on our salahs and we attend the masjid whenever we can.
Actually, just to add on there, mashallah, he's hit the nail on the head. So the whole aim of the program is to link the youth with the masjid. So as I mentioned earlier, it's for the semi-practicing slash kind of practicing youth to get them more connected to the masjid. For any parents listening, for example, like, with all due respect, if the kids are off the rails, sending them to a program like this, we're not going to wave like a magic wand where they're just going to suddenly become like, practicing or anything like that. It's kind of to build that bridge, to build that connection with their local masjid, as the brother said, because the prayers are very important. The Prophet ﷺ said that the first thing that we're going to be asked about is our prayers, and if our prayers are not in order, nothing else is going to be in order. So it's a very good point there.
I think you should attend it because it's very good, and I actually have a lot of fun there.
Okay, do you?
Yeah.
What game do you like the most?
I like the team games.
The team games?
Yeah.
Football or tug of war?
Tug of war.
Okay. You always win or do you lose sometimes?
Sometimes you lose.
Okay, with Mania, what kind of activity, what kind of games is involved in Mania?
So the games that we try and put on, we try to make them not just kind of random games where the kids can just go manic and cause havoc or anything like that. So we try and think of games and activities where there's actually like lessons or skills behind them. So some of the ones that we've mentioned, like tug of war, team games, and even like general sports games like football and dodgeball, they have their lessons in them in terms of team building, being a team player, working together, all these different things. So we have that sports slash games element to it. In the full Mania program, we also have we also invite a professional or 2 or 3 professionals to come and speak to the kids about what they do. For example, it might be a doctor and an accountant, for example. It might be an entrepreneur, a businessman, whatever. So we try and mix it up.
For self-development, isn't it?
Just to give them a little bit of an insight, basically. Just a tiny little insight to get them to start thinking, because the schools don't really do much about that. Yeah, so if we can kind of hit that at a young age, at least they'll start thinking about it earlier.
Because last time I also you had somebody talking about career.
That's it, yeah.
And about those with kids that wanted to be a doctor, or what to do with them, what we need to follow, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so we'll always have some kind of sort of job advice or career advice. Not like a full one, just like a snippet. Okay. Yeah, the world insight into that. And of course we finish on like a pizza party. Usually, so we have some food at the end.
Yeah, talking about the food. So how do you control the allergies?
So that's all addressed on the registration form, the highly sought after spaces, which we could probably auction off if we wanted to. Alhamdulillah, it fills up very quickly. So we have a registration form where we get the details, the key details that we need for the, for any allergies, anything like, are the children allowed to leave the are they allowed to go home by themselves? Do they have to wait to be picked up? All this important information that we need, we collect on a form.
Okay, your last question is, so what message you have for a parent when we drop a kid and we pick up a kid late? What message have we got for them?
Specifically for the Mania parents?
Yes.
Specifically for the Mania parents, I would say, I guess, just connect with your child as much as you can, basically. Yeah. Sometimes these kids are coming and they're looking for those kind of role models, or they're looking for those people to kind of look up to or something like that, which suggests sometimes that they're not getting it at home. Yeah. So my advice would be to, the time flies, and You brothers in front of me have children a lot older than I have. The time flies like that. And before you know it, your kids, you've not like done anything with your kids, and then you bring them to the Maulvi or the Imam saying like, look, my kid's gone off the rails, and he's not going to be able to do anything at that time. So it's important to keep connected to your child, build that solid relationship, that bridges that you need to build with them at an early age, so you don't lose it in the future.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Omer, for that. So now our next topic is a school visit, and I'm going to ask Brother Kadim, will be covering that, inshallah. So Brother Kadim, what's school visit?
Assalamu alaikum, brother. School visits, schools, other organisations bring people to the Masjid and they learn about Islam.
Excellent. Well answered.
Short and sweet, brother.
So what do you think is important? What do you think is important?
It's very important, brother. We get people from all over the north. We've had people from the west coast, Workington. We've had people from Berwick, Alnwick. We've had people from Darlington. We've had a lot of people from County Durham, where they never ever get the opportunity to meet anybody who's not white British.
Wow.
Not just Muslims, anybody. We had a school, and the bus was coming up Westgate Road, and the teacher said the children all had their faces pressed to the window. They'd never seen black people, they'd never seen Sikh people, they'd never seen sisters in niqabs. They were amazed. They thought they were in a different country.
Wow, that's quite.
So it's very, very important for these children to meet people of other races, religions, and mix and understand we're just normal people.
But how do you invite them? Do they call you, or do you invite them? Or
I don't know, brother. It happens. They just come.
Right. So they call Masjid.
They just call the Masjid. We have more than one handle, brother. The people just come. We've never ever advertised. I wouldn't know how to start advertising to schools. Schools just come.
Okay. Now to take me to a journey. So when we come in to Masjid, from when we start to when we finish, take me to a journey. What happened?
Okay. The children come. Everybody comes and sits down. First thing that we always tell everybody is, we do introductions, names and introductions, but I always say, in Islam, every man, every boy in the world, no matter what their religion, what country they're from, what colour they are, is my brother.
Yeah.
Every woman, every girl is my sister.
Absolutely.
And I treat them all with dignity and respect. And I think that sets the tone, brother. Because sometimes people are a little bit worried. Even some of the parents come.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of parents come and they're very worried.
Yeah, because sometimes do you get any complaint from a parent?
We've never had a complaint about what we've done, but we've had people who don't want the children to come.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I must say that we had two little boys from Gateshead, and they were sitting in the front row, and I noticed I had a little badge on, a little metal badge, Gateshead Patriots. I believe it's a far right group in Gateshead.
Yeah.
And I said, is your dad in the EDL? Yeah, yes. My dad's in the EDL. I said, have you enjoyed yourself? Great day. We like Muslims. I said, go home and tell your dad that we're all right, really. We're not bad people. But a lot of parents, they're very worried. What will my child have to do? Will they have to take the socks and shoes off and wash the feet? I said, I have to take the shoes off. That's all. Will the girls be in the same room as the boys? I hope so. We only have one room. And it's very strange. People have very strange ideas about other religions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure with the Sikh temple, the Gurdwara, and the Hindu temple, I'm sure they get the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're doing an amazing job, to be honest. So can I ask, how do you balance, because you work full time like everybody else, and sometimes you got a 2 or 3 visits a week, or you got so many visits. So how do you balance this?
I have good employers, brother. My people I work for different companies, but they give me the time.
Oh, that's good.
It's very good of them. I've never worked for an Islamic or a Muslim company. These companies are all very Western, but they do respect other people's religions.
Yeah. You just have to tell them, isn't it?
I tell them. I just tell them what I'm doing, and I make my time up.
Yeah.
I don't get unpaid time. I have to make the time up. But they're very good at.
May Allah reward you for all your hard work. So now, what's the hardest question or the funniest question you ever had?
The hardest question, brother. We had a little boy
Right.
Came from a special needs school. And at the end of the visit, the little boy was 5, 6 year old. At the end of the visit, the teacher came to us and the teacher said, this little boy was on a retreat.
Right.
He was a Muslim.
Yeah.
The little boy was a Muslim. And he says his father died of cancer when the little boy wasn't there. And he doesn't understand where his father is.
Right.
But I'm not a scholar, brother.
Yeah.
This was a difficult question.
Right.
Because I've got a little boy looking at us wanting an answer.
Okay.
And I said, I think your father's with Allah.
Right. So
Because this is...
what was the
this-
question?
Where has his father gone?
Oh, what was his
I
father
says,
gone?
your father's with Allah now. He's with Allah. He's waiting for you.
Wow, that's a hard
One day you'll see him. And brother, it's hard enough
Yeah.
to answer now. But at the time, I had a lump in my throat. I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Ya Allah, it was very, very difficult.
Wow.
And we give the children a carton of juice and a cake at the end.
Yeah.
And we'd all sit down and sit and eat together.
So that was the hardest one. So
Yeah.
what was the funniest
The
one?
funniest one.
Yeah.
What do you look like without your beard? I says, do you know who Brad Pitt is? I look just like Brad Pitt without me beard. The teachers thought it was very funny. The children didn't know who Brad Pitt was. Western movie star, very, very popular. Very good looking guy. And I do look just like him without me beard. My wife wouldn't agree with that.
Okay, Brother Karim, thank you very much for all your answers, and Jazakallah khair for all the hard work you do for the Masjid. And mashallah, you're always involved, you always work hard. So now we're gonna go, maybe 5 minutes, maybe so. And we're gonna talk quickly about Eid, because you're also involved in Eid. You've just been to a SAG meeting with the council and the police and the fire brigade and all those stuff. So what was the outcome of that meeting? So what was the main thing that they mentioned about Eid?
The council want everything, brother.
Right.
They want everything. If you're going to have an event in this country, you must have a lot of documentation. You need risk assessments and insurances, and you must have a plan. Brother Omer wrote the first plan,
Yeah.
and it's about 40 pages long. We'll keep adding to it, brother. We'll
Right.
keep adding to it. It's a long plan now, isn't it? We have to go through it, and the council pick at every single word.
Wow.
It's not because we're Muslims. To do this with everybody. Everybody gets the same thing. But it's very, very difficult. And it's a lot of organisation. Not just me. There's a lot of people involved, brother. A lot of people.
Yeah, because you got the police, you got we're talking about so many things.
Yes.
And because I'm sure the police mentioned about the car park, and that's always the issue. So what was the main issue this time?
Last year at Eid al-Adha, the main issue was people coming late for the prayer. Brothers, sisters, please come early. Come early for the prayer. Don't wait till the last minute and you won't get parked. And people panic and they park on the sides of the road. People parked in Tesco's garage car park. It's our neighbours, we're upset our neighbours.
Yeah.
So
because we had a few complaints from
yes, we
people,
had some
right?
complaints from people about the parking. But people come early, and there's a lot of brothers in the car park who are very, very willing to find you a space and help you get parked. But it's a small car park, and we have a lot of people coming.
Okay, we had some complaint last year about food. About food. How will you deal with that? About food wastage, because it seems like people wasted a lot of food last year. So how will we deal with that?
How we're going to deal with the food this year, brothers?
Yeah.
How we're going to deal with it differently?
Because there were a lot of food that was full wastage. People wasted a lot of food last year, so food was taken when it was wasted, put in the bin. And how are we going to deal with that? Because you mentioned to make smaller portions.
Smaller portions, smaller plates. I think it's a very good idea to have a smaller plate. If you want more, go back.
Okay, so I think that's all we've got time for, and I've been signaled that time is up. Next week we'll be back again on Wednesday.
Monday.
On Monday, that's right. So we'll be back again on Monday.